What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the BTB Show, episode 121 for you guys here today. We're going to be talking all things free agency. We've had some massive trades in the NBA go down this past week. I'm sure there's more to come. There's some big trades that are being rumored right now. And as of recording this, free agency officially begins tomorrow, June 30th. So a ton of rumors swirling around. We're going to break them all down for you guys today. So if you do enjoy this episode, of course, be sure to subscribe to the BTB YouTube channel so you don't miss any more of our off-season content that we've got coming. If you prefer to get your podcast over on Spotify, we are on Spotify now, so check us out, the BTB Show on Spotify, if you'd rather listen to us over there. But we do have additional short-form content here on YouTube, so probably wise of you to follow us on both areas, just so you don't miss out on anything the BTB Show is putting out. So appreciate all the support we've been getting from you guys on that front lately. Fellas, how we doing this week? How we doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm feeling good about this off season. So for the Bulls, Bulls fan, we got Caleb Wilson. I'm feeling good basketball wise. Life wise, I'm living too. I'm doing good. Got Nick Claxton though, free agency. Got my boy Caleb Wilson. Bulls building something, man.
Championship.
I see Earl over there grinning, man. We building something better than his Lakers.
Hey, Lakers got Cameron Carr. That's solid.
That was such a steal. I'm so mad.
That was a great pick. I wish the next pick.
I don't know how he went that late. That's stupid. That guy jumps 48 inches. Stupid vertical.
Yeah. I mean, they're gonna need a LeBron replacement. So good.
Yeah. We'll talk about
taking
that.
shots today.
No, I mean, it's just the truth. It's just the truth. But yeah. Are we good? Are we ready to get into
take shots?
I'm ready to get into it.
I'm not mad at it.
Max dirty macking today, man.
Not surprised with that haircut, man.
I mean business.
No, to answer your question, man, I'm doing amazing, bro. I can't complain. I feel like life right now is good. Individual wise, content wise, basketball world, we're in the most exciting part of the season. The off season, summer league coming up in we're like a week, I think, next week or this weekend. Yeah, this weekend, I think.
Early July.
Yeah, early July. Then we have like the Lakers California Classic coming up as well. So I'm very excited, man. Basketball never dies, bro. So I'm excited to get to it. A lot of talks, a lot of fraud watch going on, a lot of potential misleading reports about my team. We'll get into later. So let's get to it. Omar, how you feeling?
I mean, I'm feeling great, guys. Of course, me and Max are off the championship parade, so we're feeling great.
Great
vibes. A little bit of sad news hearing that we may lose Mitch, and to the Lakers, no less. However, we move, and we gotta move on. We're sad. Screw Doland, but we're here.
Leon Rose said, until you got something, you got nothing. So Mitch is still a Nick until further notice.
You know what? I really hope so. And a part of me wants to say that, Mitch stays, Landry walks, but it's hard for me to say that when I looked at Isaiah Hartenstein take $75 million for 3 years to a championship team.
All right, first topic that we've got today, it's a couple days old now, but it is the Lamelo Ball trade. So Jay, you've got the exact details written down, I believe?
Yes, I do. Lamelo Ball has been traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves, him and Josh Green, for Naz Reid, a 2033 unprotected first, 3 first-round pick swaps, and 3 second-round picks. I want to know y'all thoughts. Who's the winner and the loser in this trade? And then also we're going to talk about other trade scenarios that were floating around after this trade officially went through. Potentially we're going to get Jaylen Brown for Rudy Gobert, Naz Reid, and similar pick compensation that didn't fall through. Let's talk about the trade first. We're going to start off with Omar. Omar, what did you think about LaMelo trade? Did they give up too much? Did they give up too little? Talk to us.
Listen, man, the Hornets, I mean, I'm not really disappointed in what the Hornets did. They got the most value for what they thought they could do. But this is gonna age really badly for them because LaMelo Ball is gonna be, I believe, with this core around him, especially because they kept Jaden McDaniels and they kept Rudy Gobert. They have some good defensive pieces to really help them get over the hump. And, you know, Anthony Edwards by himself has been pretty good for the past couple of years. However, when you look at the landscape in the NBA and when you look at everything changing, you have to get him a running mate. You have to, like, dude, he just saw his old teammate Karl Anthony Towns win a championship. You think he would? I think he would be kind of mad at the Timberwolves for letting him go and then him winning a championship. So this is a little bit of both for me. Like, yes, this is a good trade for the Hornets. This is a freak out trade for the Wolves, in my opinion, because this is something like that might work. Don't get me wrong, and Lamelo Ball is definitely the talent to bring them over the hump. But this is definitely a freak out trade because of what they were kind of anticipating for. You kind of had to get Anthony Edwards a running mate, somebody to take him off double teams, but then you gave somebody up really valuable in Naz Reid. So there's definitely room for both opinions, man. I could either go both ways here. Freak out, but my official thing is freak out trade for the Wolves, great trade for the Hornets.
So you think the winner in this trade is the Hornets?
Yeah, I think so. For now.
Wow. Okay.
For now.
So Max, what do you think? Winner, loser?
Yeah, I think when the trade went down, I was more on the side of I like this for Charlotte. I think now I see it as more of a risky move for both teams, and it's I don't think you can really say which team wins right now. Like, I don't think that's going to be really clear because I think there's both really big questions that have to be answered for both teams. For the Timberwolves, it's how can they build this team around LaMelo Ball and Anthony Edwards, because that was my biggest concern with the trade when it did happen, was the fact it leaves them with such little financial flexibility and the fact that they really are down to a five-man lineup right now. Like, they have a great starting five with LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Ayo Dosunmu, who they re-signed. I'm blanking. Oh, wait. Who's there for? Oh, Jane McDaniels. Sorry.
Yeah.
Jane McDaniels and Rudy Gobert. Great starting five. Then you get to the bench and it's like Josh Green, Isaiah Evans, Joan Behringer. And you're like, yikes. That's not a bench that's... unless Joan Behringer takes a massive step and Isaiah Evans is like a rookie of the year. That's not a bench good enough.
So Terrence Shannon starts, you think?
I don't think so. I mean, again, he has not shown enough to...
Then he's the best player off the bench then. This playoffs, he was pretty great.
He did fair enough, but I don't think he's shown enough to be like, yes, he's a full-time starter. I think you trust Ayo with that, but still, I think my question for Minnesota is how can they fill out 6, 7, 8, 9 on this roster and really make it competitive in that sense, because they don't have. I think they have no more first-round picks to trade. Naz Reid was probably their best or one of their best contracts. He's gone now. I was really excited to see Naz Reid in the starting lineup. Like after they traded Julius Randle, I thought that would be their plan. Now you go from Julius Randle to LaMelo Ball, which is like ups and downs, but also like two, poor defenders, questionable playmaking or questionable decision making. Obviously, LaMelo's a great playmaker, both good scorers. I don't know if it's a huge upgrade for them, but we'll see. Obviously, best passer that Anthony Edwards has played with. LaMelo's going to draw some double teams away from him, so I'm sure he'll be happy with that. But we got to see how the Timberwolves fill out this roster for the next year or two. Because unless all their young guys take massive steps, they're going to have one of the worst benches in the league, if not the worst bench. And for the Hornets, it's like, was this too early to trade LaMelo? Because they did just have a phenomenal second half of the season. They made that push to the play-in. Like, the minutes with him, Brandon Miller, and Colin Knippel on the court together were really good. So I understand some of the concerns with LaMelo in terms of, like, he's never played winning basketball before, and is he a winning player? I think that's a very valid question to ask. I do think it was probably a year earlier. Like, I think they could have run this team back next year and really seen if LaMelo could be a core part of a winning team. And if he proves that he can be, then you say, great, we can keep him long term. And if not, then you explore trades next offseason. So can they really replace his playmaking? Can Brandon Miller and Colin Knippel take massive steps as creators for themselves instead of relying on spot-up shooting from LaMelo? I think that's my biggest question for them. But you could look, maybe in a couple years, we'll look at it and say they got ahead of it. LaMelo has an injury history. I think that's another big part of it. Naz Reid, one of the best contracts in the league. I think he's going to start for them. I think he's going to do a great job for them. So it's very risky. I think there's upsides and downsides for both teams. So I'm not going to call a winner right now. I think it's going to take at least a year, if not two, before we're really like, yeah, you know what, we're sitting here and LaMelo's played 30 games for the Timberwolves in 2 years. And Naz Reid looks great. So Hornets won. Or it'll be like, well, Timberwolves just made the finals with LaMelo. So clearly he is a winning player. So I'm not quite sure yet.
All right, Earl, talk to us, man. Winner, loser, what you think about the trade?
And the thing about it is, trades look a lot different after the first 24 hours is announced, right? You got time to kind of
This is
sit
very
down,
true. Very true.
break it down. Because I know me and Max, we had like a long conversation about this over text. Just early emotions. Obviously, it is a big mystery on the Timberwolves side. How do you feel about the rest of the roster, right? Cap space isn't in the best situation. Obviously, that Josh Green contract is pretty big. They don't want to move off of Dante DiVincenzo. They don't want to trade him as well. So it does limit you.
He's not the whole regular season.
For sure, and it limits you a lot. But the thing I think about is, like, when you make aggressive moves like this, not saying it's the same, but in history, like, where you have teams where, let's just say the Miami Heat, where you trade for, or you get LeBron signed, you go trade for Chris Bosh. Cap space is cooked. You got guys who are willing to take contract cuts to play for a team that is already established. You have a chance to go on a championship run. So I think that's probably more on the Timberwolves side, being the selling point, the hub. Like, hey, we got LaMelo, we got Ant. You come in, we got playmakers, we got scoring options. We need you as a specialist defender. We need you as a catch and shoot guy off the bench. And it's almost like you have to get into your selling point as a superstar player. Like, LaMelo's got to call his boys. Anson calls, hey man, hey, you trying to win? We got something special here. We can sign you here. Once cap fills up, we can make a 2 to 3 year deal down the line, but we just need guys. And I think that's the part of it that worries me a little bit for the Timberwolves. But as of overall talent, you're right. Like, Anthony Edwards has not played with a player like Lamelo Ball. Lamelo, to me, is the perfect player to put next to Ant. Both of them can play on and off ball. We see Anthony Edwards take those steps as a playmaker the last couple seasons. Lamelo Ball, if people didn't know, he started off as a shooting guard next to his brother. So he can play on and off ball. He knows how to be a catch-and-shoot guy. He knows how to set up his teammates. So I think their games complement each other a lot. Lamelo Ball, when you look at assists per game and pick-and-roll baskets, he's on the top of a lot of those lists in the NBA the last couple seasons. And that was playing for the Hornets. No disrespect to them, but it's not the best organization in the world. Now you're playing with a guy of Anthony Edwards. And I know efficiency is going to be a big talking point as far as Lamelo Ball and his history with the Hornets. But you got to remember, bro, like, for a lot of those years and stuff like that, it was him. Like, you had a younger Miles Bridges. To me, he's not really a catch-and-shoot guy. He likes the ball in his hands as well. LaMelo Ball seen as many double teams as you can throw at him. He's seen him in the Charlotte days. The only year I feel like he didn't really have that was last year, because you had Khan, LaMelo, and Brandon Miller being like top players in three-point percentage on the season. So you couldn't really afford to double team him as much. So imagining that with Anthony Edwards, I think it's going to be lethal. So let's talk about the Hornets side of things now. Personally, after really sleeping on it, man, I think the Hornets, they kind of cooked. I think they got really good value out of LaMelo Ball. Was a little bit shocking, yes, but after breaking it down, first things first, they have a over $40 million plus trade exception, meaning they can aggregate a contract large up to $40 million to bring onto their team. They also have a $7 million one, and I think like a $5 million one as well. So I doubt this is the last move they make. And on top of that as well, I think Naz Reid is a good option. He can shoot, he can space the floor, and it kind of fits their theme. Their whole thing, they're betting on the fact that it's a huge gamble. But at the end of the day, they're betting on the fact that LaMelo Ball is not fully needed. Like, his value is not worth the cost of keeping him on this roster. Basically, they're saying they have Kobe White. They can fill in the gaps. They can fill in the holes and get assets back. And also, after looking at like the pick swap situation, maybe pick swaps are a little bit more valuable in the new era of basketball with the new draft decisions by Adam Silver, where you don't know if a pick is necessarily going to be a top pick depending on how people perform. Like, I'm not a big pick swap guy because I think it's a little bit too uncertain to me.
If I may interject, and I'll let you go right back to it. I even think as a result of this, even players will end up being cheaper. I'm talking about less picks per player. We're going to start seeing stuff like the NFL. I feel like in due time. It's not going to happen right away, but in due time. Continue. My bad.
Honestly, I kind of almost disagree with that only because the only reason I said it is, like we see with the NBA draft, every pick, almost every single pick in the second round was traded. Everybody needs seconds to replenish their team because it's the cheapest option to get better. Like, you see now, like the Timberwolves, if they have more picks in the second round, I guarantee you they would have drafted like 5 guys to fill out the bench. Would it have all worked out? Probably not. But it's the cheapest way you can get players who are young and who can develop well. But like, to that point, yeah, I do partially agree with that. But Yeah, I think that's kind of like my full take on the Timberwolves Hornets trade. I think for the Hornets, it's risky, but it makes sense long term. And the Timberwolves, they just have to win. Winning solves every question. If you go out there and win, no one's gonna care about the trade.
Yeah, man, I agree with some of what everyone said, honestly. But my thoughts initially was, what are the Hornets doing? Like Max said, amazing end to the season last year, but like you guys said as well, after 24 hours, you start to evaluate the trade and you look at it more, you get deeper into the trade.
Yeah.
And look how the Hornets spiraled out in that last playing game of the season against the Orlando Magic. That was an awful loss. They lost. Remember, they were losing by like 50 at some point, right? Or 40, wherever the case was. They were getting killed in that game. Oh yeah, that game was awful. They were getting killed
that game. I don't think it was like 30. It was closer to 20.
It was in Orlando. It was at one point. It was in the 40s or 50s. It was an awful game.
Okay.
And
I must be thinking of the other. What was the other game where
Cops
Nipple had a terrible game?
Miami Heat.
That they
won that game. Remember they won. They came back on the Heat. Yeah.
I mean, considering they lost at the end of the game by 30, that 40 mark was probably accurate. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that game was awful. So
I forgot that the Heat game wasn't the second one; it was the first one.
Yeah. So like, if they're looking back at that game and seeing how immature LaMelo played and how, when it comes to these playoff moments, you gotta have your playoff moment, bro. This is about to be your 7th season in the league. You still haven't had a moment in the playoffs. Like,
that's wild.
Like,
that's unfair, man. That's unfair.
No. Anthony Edwards
has ever even been in the playoffs?
Anthony Edwards has had multiple playoff moments. Multiple.
My mistake. I thought you were talking about Lamelo Ball. My mistake. I apologize.
No. But I'm saying Lamelo hasn't had his moment yet.
Yeah.
And the plan was that time to have your moment. Like,
that's true.
Yo, when it comes to it, can you come up big and can you lead this team to glory? And you cannot. Like, he cannot be a number one option.
I feel like
He's
that's
not a
a
number
little
one
unfair.
option.
And hear me out when I say that. It's because I feel like this is his first real year in a playoff situation. He hasn't been in the play-in or the playoffs for his entire career.
This is my
first
point,
time
Omar.
in that position.
He's the third. He's the third pick in the Eastern Conference, and also let me say that third pick and also in the Eastern Conference, where it is easier to just make the playoffs. Now the East is very great. It's very even now. Anthony Edwards has been to at least 4 to 5 straight playoffs and has been had multiple playoff moments. Dunk on KD, dunk on Gafford.
He's had a much better team.
Kicked out the Nuggets twice. Gave OKC a fight not last year, but the year before that. Anthony Edwards just had too many moments, and they've been in the same draft. So the Hornets at this point are like, yeah, LaMelo is what he is at this point. We see something in Nipple. We see something in Brandon Miller. Let's build around that. Plus that LaMelo trade geared him up to make that Miles Bridges trade that we'll talk about next. But I understand the trade for the Hornets. And talking about winners and losers, I'm going to talk about the whole trade even more. I do think that both teams won the trade, and I'm going to get into the Wolves now, why I think that they made a great move. Look at the Wolves' last 2 years in the playoffs. Anthony Edwards had no secondary ball handler.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, like D-Book, yo, I hate getting double teamed. Like, when I get double teamed and I swing this bitch, nobody's hitting the shot. You double team Anthony Edwards and leave LaMelo open, he's shooting it from anywhere on the court. It doesn't matter where he is. LaMelo's going to get his. And say LaMelo's having a great game, and they're doubling LaMelo. He swings it to Ant. Ant is going to do his thing. There's no more double teams on this team anymore. I expect Jaden McDaniels to have another jump as well. Offensively, had the best season of his career last year. Even in the playoffs, he took it up to another level, had multiple 30-point games against the Nuggets. Lockdown defense, of course, is what he does. I love this move for both sides, looking at it now. Like, LaMelo, obviously not a number one option. He's an easily a number 2 option. He will be that behind Anthony Edwards. LaMelo Ball, still not mature yet, still hasn't grown up to where he can lead the team. Anthony Edwards is not mature, but he can lead a team. Like, he definitely gets guys to play their full potential. Cat played his full potential at some point, even though I think he went to another level on the Knicks. He gets Jaden McDaniels to play better every year. He instills confidence in Rudy Gobert, Terrence Shannon off the bench. Anthony Edwards is definitely a leader. And I think LaMelo will grow up a little bit playing with him. They're in the same drive class. He sees how serious Ant is. He's going to be like, yeah, this is what I need to be on. Like, I'm gonna take this a little bit more seriously now. Only thing that I think is sad is that they lost Nas Reed. Nas Reed is a household name in Minnesota. People in Minnesota have Nas Reed tattoos. Like, Nas Reed is he's a pretty big
Nas Reed tattoo.
Yeah, he's a pretty
Put
big
a grown man's name on your body.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. But Nas Reed being in this trade sucks, but what else would you give up? Like I think
McDaniels.
Yeah, too, bro.
and Jaden McDaniels is I'm not even kidding when I say he's a top 20 most untradeable player in the NBA. Like, you don't
is he
trade.
one of the most underrated players in the league right now?
I
Not
think
anymore,
last
but he
year,
was last year.
I was just about to say that, Earl. Last year's playoffs showed he's not underrated anymore. He needs his respect. Like, his two-way shit, he's untradeable. Like, you cannot trade Jaden McDaniels. He could have played in every series in this playoffs because that's what you need now is two-way.
Okay, I don't know if I agree with him being untradeable. If you can get Jaylen Brown for Jaden McDaniels picks, you trading him?
I don't do it.
No.
Wow.
I wouldn't.
I don't know if I go that far, but
Jaden
he is
McDaniels,
very good. I agree.
Just
and he's
because
on a new contract.
he's the franchise's player, best friend, and also he's younger than Jaylen Brown still. Jaden McDaniels he can go to another level. I know personally, Max, I would probably do it, but I understand why the Timberwolves would say no. I understand.
Right. I think in my mind, untouchable is safe for like the top 10 players in the league, pretty much.
Just know his trade value is high.
Player get traded too.
He's tier 2 untradeable. Let's say tier 2 untradeable.
Okay, yeah, tier 2. I can agree with that.
But
it's not like well, I would say Luka. If someone calls after the trade for Luka, you're not picking up the phone. But I guess that's not.
Exactly.
I guess Luka's
yeah, exactly.
Unless you're drunk and Rob Pelinka calls you.
But the only part that I really disagree with people on is the picks and stuff. I think down the road these picks ain't gonna matter. Timberwolves always gonna be in the mix with these guys unless Anthony Edwards says, "Sorry, y'all, I'm gonna take my talents to the home. And I'm going to Atlanta when my contract is up."
Well, listen, wasn't it just 1 week ago that people were saying that that's what's
maybe
gonna happen? I mean, I know they got Lamelo now, but like
now you got Lamelo.
Timeline change, bro.
Yeah, who knows? Exact timeline change, literally blink of an eye. But I think that this was a great trade for both sides. That new lineup over there in the Hornets is going to be good. They're way deeper than the Timberwolves, unbelievably. I still think I like the Timberwolves 5 better. But you talk about the Hornets as a whole, they like 7 to 8 deep, and that's all you need for the playoffs. You need 8 to 9 players for the playoffs.
they're more. I think they're 10 deep.
We're here, man.
Especially with this, I guess I don't know if we're moving into their second trade now, but like
Yeah,
especially
we'll
with
talk
this
about.
trade,
We can go right
Get
into the
into it.
Miles
I'm
Bridges
excited for this
trade.
one.
I think I've said enough. Winner, both teams in my opinion. I don't think there's any losers in this trade. But let's talk about Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges traded to the Phoenix Suns. Him and a 2029 first and a 2029 first and second. I'm thinking because it didn't specify the year for the second.
Yeah.
Or Grayson Allen,
what it looks
Royce O'Neal, and a 2033 first. This was also, in my opinion,
Unprotected.
even trade. But thoughts starting off with Omar again. Omar, what do you think about this one? Winner or loser?
I mean, like you said, Jay, this is a pretty even deal. This is a pretty even swap. If the Suns needed another option, and I feel like they got that other option. I understand Miles Bridges' history does not favor him well. I get it. I don't agree with it. I agree with everybody in this in this call here. However, I'm looking over that for a second and looking at his talent that he brings to the table. And that is definitely something the Phoenix Suns are looking at and saying, "Damn, we may have something here." In terms of Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, we're just moving off of that really fast. Listen, I feel like they got some of their replacement for Lamelo Ball. I feel like they got some shooting. I feel like they got some playmaking. This is not a terrible. I'm not saying this will be like the reason these two guys equal out to what LaMelo Ball can do. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is it does supplement it a little bit better with at least the shooting, right? With at least the shooting. So because Grayson Allen, we have to think about it, he's one of the best shooters in this league still, even at his age. So I mean, look, I really like this trade for both teams. Personally, I really, really do.
Max, thoughts? What you think about this one?
I like it a lot more for the Hornets. I think I'd like it more for the Suns if they didn't give up a 20-33 unprotected.
What is so
There's some very
valuable
short-
about 2033? Everybody's trading around 2033 like it's crazy valuable.
Well, but the thing is, that's how you.
Okay, stop
It's
it.
so
We're
far
talking about a guy in 5th grade.
in. Well, yeah, but that's how the Boston Celtics built a championship team, was with 5th graders. When you trade, and
That's
how
crazy luck, though. That's
Well,
crazy luck.
that's what
Crazy
I'm saying.
scouting.
the Thunder built their championship off 5th graders too.
I
So
love-
when you trade that far out, so much, and especially when it's unprotected, like there's a good chance the Phoenix Suns are a bottom 5 team in 2033. Like
Yes.
the only teams that should be that you look at 2033 and it's like they're probably still good are the Spurs because of Wemby, the Thunder because of SGA and their young 3. To be fair, probably the Timberwolves because of Anthony Edwards. Like that's kind of it though. Like every other team, there's a viable case for you to be like, well, they might not be good that far. And if you're like, for all we know, we're gonna look back at this and be like, Phoenix just gave up, or like Charlotte's gonna have the 4th pick in this draft, and that could be a year where Charlotte's really good. In that scenario, they got year 8 Colin Knippel, year 10 Brandon Miller. They're coming off a championship and they just landed a top 5 pick because they gave up Miles Bridges 7 years ago. Like that could be a very valuable pick. 2033 unprotected for a team like Phoenix when Devin Booker's going to be 37 and you have no idea if he's even going to be on the team at that point or if he's going to be in the league. He'll probably be in the league, but like you know what I mean. I don't really like that for Phoenix. It doesn't raise their ceiling much, I don't think. Like I don't see much, again, off the court stuff aside. I don't see much basketball. I don't see as much basketball value in Miles Bridges as you do, Omar. I know he puts up like 16 points a game, I want to say. That's just off the top of my head. Like he's kind of a volume scorer, but I don't know that he really is elevating this team more than the shooting and versatility of Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal. I mean, it clears some cap space, I think. So, like, okay, we'll see what Phoenix can do with that. Maybe this sets them up to trade Jalen Green. And if they can get a good player for Jalen Green, like, okay, at least it was part of that bigger move. But I really like this for Charlotte. Again, this is going to give Naz Reid the chance to start. You get 2 great bench pieces. I think Charlotte is legitimately like 10 or 11 deep, straight up. Like, when was the last time we could say Charlotte had 10 good NBA players on their team? Literally tell me. When was the last time
You
Charlotte
make a
had
very
10
valid
NBA
point.
players?
I'll say that. You make a very valid point.
So, like Kobe White, Brandon Miller, Colin Knippel, Naz Reid, Moussa Diabate, bench, Trey Mann, Zion James, Christian Anderson, Hans Steinbeck, Ryan Kalkbrenner, Grayson Allen, Royce O'Neal. They're really 12 deep, if you count Trey Mann. Okay, maybe not Trey Mann, but like at least the Hornets are at least 11 deep. So
Christian Anderson
It's
too.
Anderson too.
We're not counting Trey Mann.
I said Christian Anderson.
He said,
Who am I not
"Oh,
counting?
my fault. I didn't." Yeah, he said Trey Man like early on.
No,
Yeah,
I'm
Trey
saying no. Trey Mann's pretty valid. I think he's gonna play.
Okay, then they're 12 deep.
Get some burn.
Then they're straight up 12 deep. Like they have
I'm
a
just saying.
plethora of NBA players. Like again, when was the last time the Charlotte Hornets had a plethora of NBA players on their roster?
I'm gonna wait till my turn till I get more into this, but I think Grayson Allen is crazy underrated. He's hurt a lot though. That's the only reason he's even in this trade because he's so hurt. But his 3-point shooting is like top notch.
Yeah,
That's all I got to say about it. Is like I think good trade. I like the direction the Hornets are going in. Like I think this is setting up for them to make a home run trade, and if they can pull that off, they might be my adopted team for this year. This is my adopted fun. I know Earl likes to adopt fun teams.
Hey man, you know what they say about like this really feels like investing in Bitcoin before it was Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Yeah, we play fantasy, bro.
Kinda, yeah.
Pieces, bro. Got Lamelo, got Khan in the trade. Life is good, man. But I will say this: Charlotte Hornets fleece. Any situation where you're getting Miles Bridges off your team, bro, I'm all for it, bro. I'm sorry. I think, to me personally, like I said, I'm talking about basketball right now. We already know off the court stuff. We already know what it is. But basketball in general, to me, he was playing like a selfish player. There was times on that team where I felt like that ball wasn't swinging. When it hit Miles Bridges in the corner, contested 2 people over there, he's shooting it. I just feel like for this team, the way they have to develop, Brandon Miller's floor goes up, so does his ceiling. Knippel's floor and ceiling go up after this trade. Hines as well. He's a guy I had questions about maybe filling into that power forward center spot, depending on the lineups. His draft situation elevated. And I have to think that they had this move in mind as they were making these drafts. Same with Christian Anderson as well. To me, a little bit, I won't say undersized. He's a little bit smaller on the size, but one of the best shooters in the draft, one of the best playmakers in the draft. So I think the Charlotte Hornets, like Max is saying here, like they're making moves to really make this team deep. Grayson Allen, to me, he's the best player in this Miles Bridges package. I'll say it. I think he is. I agree with.
I don't know that I agree with that, but it's close.
I think, I mean, stat wise, it's right there. I think Bridges has
It's
to buy
like-
a couple.
Yeah, it's
But
like
when you factor in like efficiency, I just think Grayson Allen is just a more efficient player, and he can play
He is.
a lot more roles like naturally. He can play off ball, he can play on ball. I
Yeah.
agree with Omar's point about him like being an underrated playmaker at times too. So that's kind of what I think about Royce O'Neal. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's a 40% 3-point shooter last season. So adding these little
really big
pieces,
last year. Great
Yeah.
year for Phoenix.
he's hooping. So I think the Hornets really figured out like, hey, maybe we don't need like Lamelo Ball as the main hub, and maybe we kind of focus on elevating other guys' game and see how that can grow. I think there's been a lot of questions about Khan. I've seen some crazy narratives, by the way, saying he's a catch and shoot merchant. Man, do y'all not know Khan Knippel on that Duke team? He was creating a lot of opportunities, not only for himself scoring wise, but for other players as well. He, to me, is the best. He's the best like utility guy, I feel like, as far as that draft class. He can play on ball, off ball. He's not the elite defender, but he can keep up. And I think people are going to see this year he is definitely a guy who can create his own offense and create for others as well. So excited to see that jump. And yeah, I think for me personally, I'll keep my time here short. Hornets won this trade to me. I think it makes a lot of sense. Yes, you have to give up a first to get off of Bridges, but with the cap space they cleared up off of this deal, plus like you guys said, the ability to make other deals to really fill this out. Hornets, every trade they make, they're getting better.
Yep.
To go
I'll
off
agree to that one.
even more what Earl said, Colin Kniffel, when Melo was hurt, he was eating.
Yes.
Like, he's on my fantasy team. He's not catching shooting 7
No.
3-pointers, bro. Like, they were
For that
guarding
time,
him.
he was on my team, and then I
He can
traded him
get
for him
his
back.
own shot, bro. Even in the mid range, that free throw line shot that he has above the circle, money. Like, Colin Kniffel has game. Him and Brandon Miller, they see it. That's why they traded Miller, traded Miles. I think you guys are underrating Miles a little bit. I think Miles Bridges showed up both those playing games last year. Miles Bridges, he's the reason they won the Miami Heat playing game. He hit the corner three, then he hit the block at the end of the game on Davion Mitchell. Like, Miles Bridges he's solid. The off the court stuff is what it is, but as a basketball player, he can defend. He can hit a three. He'll dunk on you. Like, the Knicks playing, what was that, the in-season tournament last year? He flushed on Josh Hart last year. Like, he has a lot of moments in the league. He can shoot, can defend. He don't really play make, but I think Miles Bridges can be a third, fourth best player on a team, and that's what he's going to be on the Suns. He's going to be the fourth best player on this team, and I think the Suns got a lot deeper. They're going to have Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green, D Book, Colin Gillespie's back. Hopefully Maluaki's my Duke guy. Hopefully he's in the mix next year because I think Mark Williams sucks. Yeah, I think Mark Williams is awful. Like, he does
He
not
took
play
that
basketball.
contract. Not only did he take that contract, he got hurt, didn't play in the playoffs, and then they signed him to extension.
He's a good basketball player, but availability is the best ability, and he don't play basketball. Like, he missed both playing games last year. That's so sad. Like, when your team needs you the
When he's
most.
on the court, he's good though. He's
That's why he's a great basketball player, but he's never available. He's a part-time NBA player. But I think the Hornets did win this trade. As much as I do like the Suns team now, they're not deep. They don't really have nothing off the bench. They're probably too deep off the bench in the Western Conference. Won't go far. The Hornets, though, like Max broke it down, they could throw 10 guys out there on any night. Like, yo, go get a bucket. Sion James, widely underrated, bro. Like, he can defend his ass off, hit threes. He got a little pity pat on the ball. He can dribble a little bit. I don't understand how they got Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal in this deal. Like, I don't understand how they got both of them. Grayson Allen is so underrated in my opinion. Like, when he doesn't play, the Suns are a completely different team. Like, he didn't play in the second playing game versus the Magic. He played in the first one, but he does get hurt a lot. He gets hurt a lot. Like, ankle injuries, hamstring injuries. It's always something with Grayson Allen, bro. He's a 50 game a year guy. So if they can spot him in, rest him at times, yes, so that he can be available for the playoffs. But Royce O'Neal as well, great spot shooter, great on-ball defender. Royce O'Neal also can run the pick and roll unbelievably. I've seen him run pick and roll with Nick Richards and Mark Williams and hit guys open in the corner for a three. Like, they are going to have so many guys that can do something with the ball, and then do something off the ball. And they also got a 2033 first. Like, what a trade for the Hornets, man. They're doing something over there special. I really respect what they're doing. But yeah, I think the Hornets won this trade, man. I'm not gonna lie. But next thing up, before we get into all the trade intel, we got a couple of cool signings that I wanted to mention. Isaiah Hartenstein, 3-year, $75 million extension. Omar, overpay? Deserved?
Nah, he got that last year. I mean, I feel like he is worth that, but at the same time, they probably could have aimed lower and see what they got. I really feel like his value can be worth it, but man, this value is going to be overshadowed very, very soon with a day Mara. I really do feel that way.
So you think Mara off rip is going to be better than Hartenstein?
Not off rip, but he's going to provide a lot of value. And it's going to be really hard to decide who's going to get certain playing minutes and who's going to be the more important factor in certain minutes. And in some situations, people are going to want Hartenstein because you're spending that money on him. And in some situations, people are going to want Mara because he's definitely going to get a rebound if you put him in there.
I feel like Hartenstein he's definitely worth it. Like in a vacuum, like that's a good contract. That's a fair contract for I think the output that he gives. Like he's a starting center on an NBA championship team. Having proven that already. My only minor concern for the Thunder is just with all the extensions coming up of their core three. We know they don't want to break up their core three. $25 million for iHeart again when you did get a day Mara. Maybe would have been smarter to go 2 years instead of 3.
Yeah.
Maybe try to slide a team option in there if you could, but in a nutshell, like he is definitely worth that money. So good re-signing for them. It's not a terrible deal. Like again, $25 million in the modern NBA like is not that much, but I just hope it doesn't get in their way of them having to re-sign Chet or J-Dub when the time comes. It probably won't. I'm sure Sam Presti knows what he's doing.
Yeah. I'll say this really quick. I think Isaiah Hartenstein was one of the best players in that Spurs series last year. The numbers aren't going to scream at you, but he was not afraid of Wemby. That's the only thing. Chet no-showed. Hartenstein was still doing his floaters. He only averaged 8 rebounds that series because Wemby was just crazy on the boards that series. But, I mean...
That's why.
I think Isaiah Hartenstein's values is there. Like Omar said, he still has great value. He played against the team that ended up going to the final. He played pretty well against them. You know, he's not afraid of the best player on the floor. And he rebounds his ass off. Effort is off the charts. One of the best effort guys in the league. I don't think it's I think he deserved his contract. I think any team would have paid Hartenstein this. I mean, he literally does all as a center. He's gonna rebound. You could run the two-man game with him. Literally, he does handoffs. He can do a pocket pass, backdoor pass. Like Hartenstein does it all, in my opinion. He's one of the 10 best centers.
He's a very underrated passer.
Like
he's one of the best big man passers in the league for sure. But
for sure, he's one of the 10 best centers in the league, and not even talent standpoint. Just his IQ is so high. Like he literally does it all.
He was like Nick.
But didn't you say Onyeka Okongwu's better than him, and that the Thunder should trade for him?
He got you.
I'm not gonna lie. Onyeka Okongwu is probably still a better player than Isaiah Hartenstein. Isaiah Hartenstein's IQ though is through the roof.
But I would argue that's part of you as a player. When I evaluate a player, your IQ is a big part.
I was saying talent-wise. Like, would you invest in the talent of Onyeka Okongwu over Hartenstein? I would. I would take that chance.
I wouldn't, and I'll tell you why. Isaiah Hartenstein was arguably one of the 2 pieces that Oklahoma City brought onto this team to amend their weakness from the year before that won them the championship.
I understand.
I think that's all I have to say.
SJ also went out and got an MVP, and J-Dub made a second-team All-NBA.
You know what? You're right about that. And offense is a big part of what happened there. But defense wins championships, and we all know that.
And their offense flows a lot better when Hartenstein's on the floor.
That's not to say Alex Caruso wasn't huge either.
Hartenstein's defense is actually not great. So
you're telling me
offense
a good
is
team
really
elevates players.
Yeah, exactly.
Just know Onyeka Okongwu on that Thunder team last year, they probably still win the championship.
And it's almost like if you just have the best team, you add players in, games elevate.
Thunder team was pretty good.
You could say environment.
We kind of knew what Oklahoma City. Go for it, my bad.
Speaking of this, bro, like, look, let's be real, bro. Let's just take the icing off the cake, bro. Nobody needs all that extra sugar, bro.
Yeah, fuck that.
Who's gonna eat the cake without the icing?
I'm just saying, sometimes you gotta lock in. Sometimes you gotta lock in, bro.
Sometimes you can have ice cream cake.
Sometimes you need a little lemon cake.
Ice cream's got the ice cream.
To my point, when you draft a center that high in the draft, I don't think it's necessary to pay Hartenstein like up to $25 million a year. I thought it was, like Max said, maybe if you even construct it in a way where it's like a 2-year deal with a player option, something like that, but to lock it up like long-term-ish, I don't know, bro. I don't know how I fully feel about it, and it just leaves a lot of questions for me personally. Like, obviously, OKC's made the right moves in the last couple of years. They're willing to go over the luxury tax and go into different aprons and shed salaries where it makes sense. But personally, I just don't know what the thinking is. Obviously, they're big on development. I mean, Chet Holmgren got injured his first year, didn't play at all. Then he was able to kind of squeeze into those rotations. And even with that situation, I just find it hard to kind of picture like how everything looks between all three of those guys on this roster. Well, 4, because Jalen Williams as well has been great as a center option. So for me, I thought it would be a situation where maybe you kind of think about maybe moving off of Hartenstein potentially, and Jalen Williams gets an elevated role, and then you add Mara to the mix. But now you have like an influx of bigs. I do wonder what roles are going to be defined as we go through the next couple of years of OKC. But obviously, they've made good decisions so far. I just think, like you said,
maybe they
Hartenstein could have got this contract from any team and it would have made sense. I just don't know if that particular deal makes sense for OKC right now in their future.
Maybe they run a lineup of Mara and Hartenstein and see what happens. No Chet
Well, that
Holmgren on the
shooting
floor.
would be abysmal.
Benching Chet would be egregious, but
Egregious.
to
We just saw what happened.
keep it on
Well, actually, Jen
OKC.
Will can't shoot. It's okay, Mara.
To keep it on OKC, they did make another trade that it's not really a splash trade, but I think this is such an underrated trade. Isaiah Joe to the Pistons for 2 seconds. That's all the Pistons needed was a shooter. That's really all they needed.
Wiggins for 2 seconds.
I feel
To the
they
Hawks.
got
The Hawks.
The
Yeah,
Hawks, yeah.
like
Two
They
teams
got
that
4
need some
seconds
scoring.
for the guys who didn't play for them in the playoff series.
And
it
like
gets them under
Presti,
apron.
just he knows what he's doing. Let him cook. But also for the Pistons, they got Isaiah Joe for nothing. Like I know 2 seconds is kind of second rounders are getting more and more valuable every year, low key. Yeah. But just the fact Isaiah Joe's still in his mid-20s, one of the 10 to 15 best spot shooters in the league. Mm-hmm. Like when he's on, he can play on ball. He's good in transition. He's low key, has sneaky bounce, and punch on a couple people. This is literally what they needed, man. The Pistons had nothing on the perimeter. Like it was Kevin Huerter, who was supposed to be a good shooter. He fell off the map. Kate Cunningham is shooting all the threes. Asar's afraid to shoot. Isaiah Stewart's afraid to shoot. Jalen Duren was afraid of everything last series. All they needed was a guy to
Jamal Payne.
They needed a guy to shoot threes.
Yeah,
like Isaiah Joe, they probably beat the Cavs with Isaiah Joe.
Oh yeah, I know that recipe. The same reason why we had to pay extra $20 million for Reeves is because the Pistons trying to take shooters.
Yeah, the Lakers did pay the shit out of Reeves.
I mean, listen, this trade was never like it doesn't solve the Pistons' biggest problem of they need someone, a primary shot creator and ball handler other than Cade Cunningham.
That's on the way.
But again, like it's not meant to do that. Like, sure, you get Isaiah Joe, decent bench piece for 2 second-round picks. Like I don't get like Isaiah Joe's still a good NBA player. The fact that he wasn't playing on the Thunder doesn't mean he's bad. It's just because the Thunder have a bajillion great players. Like it's that thing where it's like the 15th guy on the Thunder would be the 7th guy on a regular NBA team. So like Isaiah Joe is still good. Aaron Wiggins is still good. I think they're going to be good bench pieces for both the teams they went to. But I mean, for the Thunder, it's a win-win. Like you literally did not need those guys in the playoffs really last year. Like, you didn't play them. You get you farther under the second apron, and you get future seconds.
I'm
Win-win.
still sticking to my Zach LaVine is going to the Pistons. I just think it makes the most sense.
I mean,
even with Zach LaVine's name being stained, because he's just not a winning player, he's gonna be great with that team. And they have the money because Tobias Harris is getting paid a good amount. Kevin Huerter is getting paid like $15 million. They can package those two guys, throw in probably Marcus Sasser, a pick in there. Zach LaVine's value is not high anymore. He can go for Tobias Harris, Kevin Huerter. Like Zach LaVine's nothing anymore.
We haven't heard a lot out of that actually.
I think that's the best trade.
He $49 million today, so that's that.
Yeah, he's getting paid. So
what happened?
He
Zach LaVine
opted into his $49 million
Oh,
Yeah.
But I think that's enough of that. That can lead us right into our offseason intel. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about the Nuggets offseason, Jaylen Brown saga, Kawhi news, what the Warriors are doing. But we can keep it on the Pistons for a little bit. They're not going to extend our guy Jalen Duren is looking like. They're going to probably extend him, but he said that number that they offered him was very underwhelming, and he's looking for around $40 million annually. After what he did last year, I doubt it.
I mean,
He was pretty ass last year in the playoffs. I mean, he got owned by his ex-girlfriend's boyfriend, Wendell Carter.
what?
Yeah.
emasculated by Wendell Carter Jr.
Wendell Carter kind of sunned him
That-
last year.
That was
Even though they won that
actually,
series.
was
Well, I'll
embarrassing
say
to
this
think
though:
about.
who won?
According to Jay, the worst center in the league, or worst starting center in the league.
Well, that was.
Yeah, Wendell
everybody
Carter.
else.
Wendell Carter did have a pretty good series against him last year.
I'm
So
not gonna lie though, as one of the biggest Wendell Carter haters, he earned my respect, and I'm proud to say that.
Mhm.
yeah, he stood up
Like
for
I
his
told
girl
you
last
guys,
series.
respect
man.
is earned, not given.
let's. I just want to remind you guys, like, yes, 40 mil is absurd. I agree with that, but like, remind you guys that a month into the season last year, we were talking about Jalen Duren being an All NBA player. And did he not? Did he make All NBA? I forget. Did he like sneak
He
his
did
way?
make All NBA.
13. Yes, sir.
13.
No, third. Like All Star, All NBA, did have a terrible playoff series, but like,
But now they're looking at sign
30
and trade
million?
opportunities for $40 million annually.
I
That's the thing.
30
A number
ends
like
for
a number
Duren.
like 30 million, which is kind of fair value for Jalen Duren, could be considered underwhelming when you're
Man,
asking for 40 million.
His
annually.
ass needs to get a grip. He was ass last year. He was not good
Exactly.
in either series. Like, I know
But
he
the-
went
the
against two
season doesn't
bigs.
spend more than the playoffs.
He went against two
How you-
bigs with the Cavs. He was terrible still. Like, awful. Both series. You
Hey, man.
couldn't eat against Wendell. Like, I saw game 3 in person. He was a no-show. Like, he was awful that game. He didn't do anything. Like, seeing him in person, he's a specimen in person. Like, he's a big center.
Yeah.
He
He's a
should
walking
dominate.
muscle.
He should dominate that series, and he literally didn't do anything in that series. But I don't know if we want to continue to talk about this. We have so much to talk about. First off, Jaylen Brown has drawn trade interest from multiple teams. It's now the Blazers who are looking like the best suitor right now. Blazers, Raptors, Nuggets, Nets, Hornets, Hawks, Clippers, and teams that are not in the mix are the Rockets, Magic, and Pelicans. They are out on the Jaylen Brown saga.
Really?
But
That's interesting.
out of the Blazers, Raptors, Nuggets, Hornets, Nets, Hawks, who do you think that he goes to most? Omar, start off with you, man. Where do you think Jaylen Brown fits the most? And look, we gotta make our next couple of topics quick because there's a lot.
Yep,
Of them.
I'll make it quick. Shout out Earl. It's the Blazers. I'll keep it nice, short, and sweet. They need somebody there like Jaylen Brown. They have the money for it. They have the guys for it. This also says that Denny Avdia is off the table in any deal for Jaylen Brown. However, I don't think that should call the deal. I mean, Scoot Henderson's a great option. Shannon Sharp's a great option. So there's multiple options for the Celtics to
Is
go
Scoot
to if they
and
really
Shannon
want
a good
it.
option?
No, bro. It has
Wait,
to
who
be
else?
Klingon. If Klingon's not in the package, I'm hanging
Yeah,
out.
it has to be Klingon.
Straight
You are
up.
right. I'll say that. Yes.
Wait,
Now that
straight
you
up.
think
was the
about
other
it.
good option that you said?
It's got to be Klingon, Sharp, and Scoot.
Yeah,
First round pick.
Klingon,
Omar.
Sharp, and Scoop are considered. That's a good deal. I like that. That's a good deal.
Cleveland is
Florida.
incredible. He's a fucking great center.
Again, to keep it
I agree.
real short,
He
I
needs to be
just
free.
think it's the Blazers. I don't think any other team should really. I don't know.
Incorrect.
So
Earl, you've said the Blazers.
So Max, what do you think?
Time has changed.
What's the best suitor for JB?
I agree that it is the Blazers. I think they have, especially with Dame coming back, they have a logjam of talent. They have a lot of players on that team. And I think they're in the perfect position to make this jump because we did just see them take a huge jump as a collective roster last year, get to the playoffs. They took a game off of the team that went to the NBA Finals. They're a good team. Like, I think they are ready to ascend, and if they want to break into that, like last year they pretty much went as far as they possibly could have. Like 7th seed, win against the Spurs. That's very impressive. I don't think that gets talked about enough. If they're going to break into that top 5 in the West, they need a guy. Jaylen Brown is that guy. I don't know what analytics say he's the 7th best player on a team. He might be the 7th best. He's closer to the 7th best player in the league than he is 7th best player on a team.
And the Lakers.
So I think it makes a lot of sense for him to go there. You pair him next to Dame, Denny Avdia. Again, are you giving up Klingon? Probably. Could they get away with it with maybe Sharp, Scoot Henderson, Kamara? If you could do that, I love that for them. But even if you got to give up Klingon, they still got guys. Like, this Portland team is deep. They hired Mike Inori, correct?
Yep.
That was where he went.
1 year with an option.
Yep.
Crazy.
They got Mike Inori. I think Jaylen Brown makes a lot of sense to that team. If not them, I think the Hornets could make some sense. I don't know about that fit, though, with Brandon Miller and Colin Knippel. So maybe not. Maybe the Hawks. I don't know. But I agree that Portland makes the most sense off the top of my head.
Earl, Cook.
Guys, we're missing the bigger picture, man. It's a big team we're missing out on in this conversation. I think the team that has to go for Jaylen Brown is the Denver Nuggets, man. We just seen the conversation a couple days ago about Jokic potentially not inclined to accept the extension until next summer and become a free agent. You cannot afford to let Jokic become an unrestricted free agent. You can't.
I think Jokic is going anywhere.
It's not that it's not such a sure thing. If you have a situation where the roster isn't getting better and Jokic has options where he can go anywhere in the league and make that team a championship contender, I don't think the whole loyalty conversation is enough to keep Jokic as a Nugget. I just don't think so. And I think the biggest way to do that and fix his roster is getting a Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown with Jokic easily becomes the best player he's played with. And I know there's been Jamal Murray here. I get it. Easily, he's the most skilled player that Jokic has played with since he's been on the Nuggets.
Maybe not easily.
I think it's easily.
Easily. I think playoff Jamal Murray is comparable to Jaylen Brown.
Playoff.
And where was that this year?
Playoff.
I'm talking about right now, prime for prime.
Or versus Lakers.
Prime for prime, Jaylen
Sorry,
Brown.
Earl.
Yes.
You know it's true.
Yeah.
Prime for
But
prime, Jaylen.
I'm keeping my answer short. I think it's Nuggets, man. I think it makes a lot of sense. They got the contracts to trade.
So who are they giving up in that? I'm curious. Who are they trading?
You move Aaron Gordon. You move whatever asset picks wise you have left. Cam Johnson, and you figure it out the rest.
Christian Brown.
Are the Celtics
And Christian Brown.
doing that?
I
don't think you take it unless Jamal Murray's in it. I think that's a
Oh, my fault. Yeah, you can move Murray. Yeah, you can move Murray. Move Murray.
that's a minimum requirement. Again,
I say you move Murray, Cam Johnson, and maybe Christian Brown. Call it a day. I would do it.
And is that team better?
Yes. You extend Watson and then you work in free agency. You'll still have money to work with. That's what you do. If you're the Nuggets, you do that.
Okay.
Yeah, and apparently everybody is available on that roster, but
I think Earl stole my answer, by the way. I had the Nuggets. I think that the Nuggets made the most sense. But I think Atlanta's it's right there. It's right there. Bring the brother home. They got the players. They got the picks. I think they're gonna have a top 10 pick next year because the one of their trades. They're gonna have a great pick next year because they own. I think Milwaukee and New Orleans trades. They can trade Nikhil. They can trade Dyson Daniels. They can trade Reese Shea first. They can do whatever to get Jaylen Brown. And I think
You might have to pay me to take Reese Shea.
I mean,
I don't know if he's
considering
an asset.
Julius Randle went for -5 picks.
I mean, the Celtics bringing in 4 guys in picks for Jaylen Brown. I think the Celtics just do it. I think they just do it.
Not to obviously we'll move on, but I kind of want this Hawks team to run it back. I'll be so honest. I feel like they're not in a position where they need to make this trade this year. I think they just run it back next year and see how good they are. Like, this team got half a season together and they were drastically better after that Trae Young trade and the CJ McCollum trade. Same trade, but I'd like to see the full team before they start making moves and be like, this is the guy we're gonna build this team around next to Jalen Johnson. But I see what you're saying. They definitely have it in them. I just don't even know if I'm the Hawks, if I'm rushing to make this trade. But
Max, I'm with you when you're right, and you're probably right. That Hawks team beat the Knicks the most last year.
you could argue they're the second best team in the NBA.
You can argue they're the second best
And
team
they
in
got,
the NBA.
again, so many young players. So just run it back, and then who knows who's available next offseason.
Shout out
I digress.
Onyeka Okongwu. He's not in this trade. But like Omar was saying though, Cam Johnson has drawn trade interest from multiple teams, all playoff contenders. Pistons linked to Norman Powell.
Now that's
Man,
good.
there's some moves to be made. Cam Johnson to the Lakers, Earl? Thoughts? Maybe? Mid 30% shooter from three.
He's swiping left.
Pretty mid guy. I think Cam Johnson's cooked, y'all. Injuries, shots kind of falling off. I don't like it.
He's podcast guy now.
Everybody wants
He's
to
a
be
good
Michael Porter Jr. until it's time to be Michael Porter Jr.
Podcast Cam.
Can we just admit that the Nuggets lost that trade to Michael Porter Jr.?
Easily.
Yeah,
I thought they lost when they made the trade.
They lost it. No. So
I feel like there were people trying to tell me that I'm not even necessarily saying you guys, but I feel like there were people trying to tell me that Cam Johnson and Michael Porter Jr. were even. And I was like,
I mean,
is
at
Michael
the
Porter Jr.
time-
not a better player than Cam Johnson? They were like, no, it's about even.
I thought the trade was amazing last year for both teams, but
At the time,
I did think the
it was
Nuggets
kinda wild, yeah.
won because he's more of a two-way player, and the Nuggets needed more defense. But it turns out Cam Johnson's old, and he can't really move on defense like that, and his shots kind of not the same. And Michael Porter's just way better all around. Like
Look,
Michael
do I
Porter as a
like him right
rebounder
now?
was greatly missed in that Nugget series.
I'm about to say, am I in favor of Cam? Dang, I forgot his name. Sorry, Johnson right now. No. If he signs with the Lakers next week, will I switch up and glaze him? Absolutely.
At least you're admitting it. You know what? A lot of people wouldn't even admit it.
Like, man, Cam Johnson, have you seen the way he plays on-ball pressure? He has guys shooting at a 42% rate on the left wing.
We're also
I'll
about
find
to pull
some
out
type of
analytics that haven't even existed yet. He's about to
Hey,
create
man,
new analytics
statistically,
that
he's
can't
the
afford
15th
it.
best player on the team. You know how it goes.
Analytically,
When the stats don't lie. Analytically, man, he's a... By the way, I know we're talking about... That was the most diabolical thing that was ever been said about Jaylen Brown. And people... we have to normalize putting a name to absolutely baseless and idiotic takes. And I'll leave it at that. Sorry.
So
I
Earl,
thought it was seventh. I literally thought it was the seventh. Quote was
I
seventh
thought it
best
was,
player.
I thought it
in
was
the league.
fake.
I thought it was seventh best player in the league, and I was like, okay,
Yes,
that's maybe a little
yes.
bit for Jaylen Brown, but like that's
Oh,
kind of close.
on
And it
a
was like
team
seventh
is
best player on a
diabolical.
team.
so
Maybe
Earl,
seventh
what's
best player on
most
Team USA, but like
what's most likely to happen for your Lakers? You guys make a Cam Johnson trade or a Rui trade? Or no, is Rui a free agent?
Rui
Rui's
is a free agent.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
so damn.
He has interest
Rui's
in
Let me
net
tell you
and
exactly
the
what's
trade.
going to happen.
So
Let me
Rui's
give you all
gone.
the script. First of all, I'm not worried, man. I got the big Rob Pelinka, bro. Rob Pelinka moves like a mob boss over here in the summer of 2026, bro. He promised Luka the world, and that's what he's going to give him. First thing's going to happen, first of all, we're getting Walker Kessler. No doubt in my mind. I think the Jazz have too many cooks in the kitchen. They are one of those teams who do not want to pay large contracts to their players anymore. We're going to send in there and send an offer. If we don't get him, then we're getting one of two of him or Peyton Watson, easily. I'm not worried about it. And then after that, you fill in free agency. And then we get Ben Simmons.
I think Rob Williams would fit the Lakers very well. Great.
And then we get
option.
Ben Simmons.
Ah, God.
So, Earl,
you just saw the news
then the
that
season
Ben Simmons
ends.
is aiming an NBA comeback.
Earl, I don't
Right on
understand.
time.
Earl, I don't understand how you're not mad about Rui just leaving. He's kind of the best catch and shoot.
Look, the thing about it
Player
is,
in the
bro,
league. Besides Steph Curry?
I thought Lakers fans didn't like Rui though.
Andrew
really,
Wiggins,
Lakers
as
fans
of 3
have
minutes
to
ago,
love Rui
opted into
after
his
that.
$30 million option.
At that Rocket series, Rui he was literally not missing any threes. He didn't miss.
look, Rui is not coming back because he got benched for a chance to tie the game. He's not coming back, bro. I've already established in my mind. So shout out to Rui Hachimura. Whatever he gets paid, he deserves it. I just think there's a world where teams are able to pay him a lot more than we're willing to give up in this next era of basketball. I would love to have him back. I'm sure everybody would on this team. I'm sure Luka would as well. But unless Rob Pelinka starts moving some of these contracts, I just don't know if it's happening. I would love him back, though. I would.
Well, you guys are in the lead for Mitchell Robinson, though. That should be a good thing for you guys coming up.
Cool.
So
I
moving.
think,
We,
I think
we gotta
Walker
say,
Kessler would be a much better buy for, or
Of
much
course,
better.
of course,
Yeah,
but,
so-
you know.
so
But-
moving forward, we have some Warriors off-season news. So Warriors are attempting to trade to get Anthony Davis, and they also want to sign LeBron James. I don't know
The better
how
part is they want to trade Jimmy Butler's contract
both of those things are possible.
to get Anthony Davis.
The Wizards, as a Wizards GM, we decline. We don't want him.
The Wizard.
We're good. We're good. Scatter along, Warriors. We're not helping you.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna lie. Why not, Earl? They're so this is my thing. Two different conferences. AD kind of in the way.
Why?
Not feeling
They
AD's
haven't
vibe
played a minute
on the
together.
Wizards. Not feeling AD's vibe at all on the Wizards. A lot of I don't know if
There's
I want to
nothing
be
to feel.
here. He called them
Yeah,
trash
like
in that
he-
interview.
They literally.
He did I'm not feeling AD's vibe. Like I think starting AJ at the 4, Sar at the 5 just makes sense. And, just let AD do his thing. Start
Young,
Keyshawn George.
Jabonsta, AD Sar. That's what it is. That's what it will be. Bro, we don't want. What are they gonna do with Jimmy Butler, bro? Let's be real.
He'll be there either at the end of the season or next season. Like, I think Jimmy's gonna be a great locker room guy while he's hurt. For this young team,
$99 million, $250 million locker room guy. Clap it up. Hey, Jimmy's like,
insane.
Water.
AD don't play.
Water.
AD doesn't play.
Hey, look, when you're in this spot, take this shot right here. You see how AJ's moving. He's not listening to nobody. He tried to take your. Oh, by the way, that was hilarious. How he thought he was gonna get Trae Young's number. Then he called and said, "Hey, little bro, go ahead and get 4."
The thing is though, AD doesn't play, Earl. What's the difference?
I'm not even looking at this from the Wizards' perspective. I'm just looking at this from Golden State. Like, this genuinely feels like a kid playing 2K My League. And they're like, what if I just go get Anthony Davis? And then what if I just go get LeBron?
Not facts.
This team would be the biggest, like, you light my fire team to ever exist. This is outstanding written all 42-year-old or 41-year-old LeBron in a Warriors uniform. 33-year-old AD who's not going to play more than 40 games probably. I'm sounding too much like a hater now, but like, come on, guys. Like, are we like? Is Golden State? No. I feel like they're doing the most. It's like they are dying on this hill of trying to give Steph Curry one last championship run, and they're just gonna do whatever it takes to get the biggest name possible. Like, that team will just not like. You know what? I hope it happens because it would be a super fun storyline and a super fun team to watch. But it would like the most fun first round exit in NBA history. But it won't work. It would not work. But you know what? If all they have to do is trade the Butler contract and they can sign LeBron to a vet minimum, why not?
No,
just go for it.
Every game they do,
but go for it.
Every game they do their lineup intros, they should start by saying for a combined age of 37 and a half years old, because this is going to be the oldest starting lineup of all time.
If you're going to do an unction, bro, but like
they also just gave Al Horford a 2-year deal.
Let's just think about it though, like from the outside looking in. Let's be real. This is the best.
Real quick, I'm sorry. They gave Al Horford I had to like double take when I saw it. Like 1-year deal, okay, fine. 2 years? They gave Al Horford a year longer than Micah Nori got?
He got some juice left, man. Shout out Al.
Oh.
Shout out Golden State for being confident Al Horford's not going to retire in a year. I thought Al Horford was retiring this year.
3-year, $64 million contract for Andrew Wiggins, by the way. 3-year, $64 million. He's got a better value than freaking Isaiah Hartenstein.
Wiggs is definitely worth it. I was about to say Wiggs.
Yeah, I'll say that.
Great.
Better.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just had to remind the world.
No, you're good.
Got a 2-year deal.
I was just gonna say, if we're talking about unctions, bro, if you're gonna do an unction, this is probably as best as it gets from unctions. Real talk. I mean, look, I will say I get it, age, whatever, but we can't act like Steph Curry isn't still Steph Curry. We can't act like LeBron James didn't just put up 26 and 6 last season. The only big question mark to me is trading for Anthony Davis. I don't know, bro. Don't know.
Even with LeBron and Curry, they're winning 40, 45 plus games. It's just gonna happen. It's going to happen.
I said 50 floor.
3.
Whoa, you guys are. Who else is on that team?
Out of top 10 NBA
who
players,
else is even in their starting 5?
I'm gonna go back to the IQ thing. The best IQs in the entire NBA, Curry, LeBron, and Draymond Green are in the top 10 to 15. They're going to win a lot of games.
In fact, if I'll put it out there, that Golden State team comes together, they're not going over 500.
It's just no Moody is what kills their 50-win hopes, in my opinion. If Moody is playing next year, they're absolutely winning 50 games.
I totally forgot. Yeah, Moody is just out.
Yeah, Moody's not playing. But Pods has to make a jump. Will Richard has to make a jump. They still got GP2, Draymond Green, Curry, LeBron. I think LeBron is for sure going to the Warriors, so I'm just including LeBron.
Nah.
Guys, can we call time out here?
Hey, y'all got to stop falling for smoke screens in 2026, man.
Okay,
he's not going back to Lakers.
This is not.
Yes, 100%, 1,000%. He's going back to Lakers.
If the Warriors have to know better, like they have to know this won't work. Like, if they do it just for vibes, fine. And if they're not sacrificing future draft
That's
picks
what
or
it's
young
gonna
players,
be for.
then
It's
sure.
for vibes, Max.
Fair. Okay, if you want to do it for vibes, okay. But we cannot sit here and act like that is going to be a legitimately...
They'll first round
contending.
exit, but they'll win 45 games at least.
I think 41. I think they're 500. I think they're the most 500. They go 500. They win their way into the playoffs to the play, and they get swept in the first round by OKC or San Antonio. That's
They're definitely
probably
they're
the ceiling.
definitely on sweep watch. But how are we feeling about this Kawhi news, y'all? Mavs and Raptors are going band for band for packages for Kawhi Leonard. Where does he go? Where's Kawhi going, Omar?
Mavs.
Mavs?
The Mavs?
I think so, man.
This is okay, Omar. With that being said,
I look at the Raptors, man. They already dealt with Kawhi before.
And they won a
I don't
championship.
know if they want to deal with him again. I understand that they're trading for him, but also the packages might not be worth it because they're not looking to trade Brandon Ingram. The Mavs are not looking at Brandon Ingram like, yeah, we want Brandon Ingram. Like, excuse me, the Mavs. Why did I say that? I mean, Clippers. The Clippers are not looking at Brandon Ingram saying we want him. Like, the trade pieces that the Toronto Raptors have, I feel like the Clippers don't want. So, like, I feel like they have to be convinced almost to take it. So, I don't know. I just see the Mavs pulling it through.
What would the Mavs offer?
the Mavs, I'm pulling it out right now. The
That's better than the
Mavs,
Raptors.
it's surrounded around PJ Washington and I forgot who else.
So Clippers want PJ Washington over Brandon Ingram.
So it would be
over who? Over
it would be
who?
PJ Washington,
Brandon
Klay
Ingram.
Thompson, and multiple draft picks.
Wow.
Yeah, because a report recently said
Alright,
that
break this
they're
down
not
to me how
looking
this
for
is better
they're not
than the
looking for
Raptors.
Brandon Ingram and would actually demand Max's boy Colin Murray Boyles in any type of deal.
Oh,
Who said
if you're
that?
the Raptors, you hang up. No
Who
comment.
said that?
I
I need to see
swear
the
to
report.
God.
Because the report I seen was Brandon Ingram, picks, and somebody else.
It was
Well, what
it's
picks,
I heard the
Brandon
Clippers
Ingram's and
are
Grady
no-
Dick.
are nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was Brandon
interested in
Ingram and
Brandon
Grady. Yeah.
Ingram.
Brandon Ingram and Grady was the reported package.
I'm just not doing that if I'm the Clippers.
Raptors offer Kawhi Leonard around Brandon Ingram, Grady. Dick.
Brandon Ingram-
While I understand that. I also
No show
saw-
last year's playoffs, by the way.
saw
No
reports
show
of
versus
Kawhi.
Cleveland. Absolutely.
He's not a,
But he
No
had
shit.
a
not a
good
top
regular
2
season.
player.
Very good regular season. He was
Like
an
he
all-star.
was benched for Max's
Let's be real.
guy. Colin Morbo took
Well,
his
there's no
spot
shame in that. No
and
shame.
Jakob spot. They
Can
were
we be
starting.
real?
They were starting Jamal Shed, or not starting. They were ending off the games with Jamal Shed, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Colin Murray Boyles, and either one of the who's the young guy, Jacoby Walter or something. They were just throwing anybody in there over Brandon Ingram, over Jakob like because Brandon Ingram was so off in that series.
I'll tell you this right
I'm
now.
telling you, people are not really interested in Brandon Ingram. The Clippers look like they're moving into a youth movement, at least closer to youth movement than not. I just feel like Brandon Ingram fucks up that timeline
And
completely.
then how's PJ
He's not old,
Washington
though.
and
Brandon
Klay
Ingram's not that
Thompson
old.
fit into
He's
the
not
youth
that
movement?
old, but he's also in his mid-30s.
Omar, how does PJ Washington and Klay Thompson fit into the youth
Max
movement?
does Omar not know Brandon Ingram's age?
He doesn't. And
Brandon
it's,
Ingram's like 28.
No way. I could swear
Yes.
I thought he was 30. Hold on.
Bro, Brandon Ingram's
he's
Hold on,
part of
hold
the
on.
bro. He was part of the Lonzo.
Can you look
Charles
up
Barkley.
Brandon
My
Ingram's
bad, my bad, my bad. Okay, I was 2 years off. I thought he was 30.
Brandon Ingram's 28 years old. He turns 29 in September. That brother's
Look,
not.
I
Omar,
know.
let me ask you
I thought
this.
he was 30.
Let me
Excuse
ask you
me.
this, bro.
No, you thought he was
Years
in
off.
his mid-30s.
You're preaching, okay, but still to that point, you're talking about youthful movement, right? How does PJ
He's older than
Washington
Damian Lillard.
and Klay Thompson fit the youthful movement in a trade, rather than Grady and Brandon Ingram?
Well, I do see what Omar's saying in the sense that, like, I think the Clippers, in any Kawhi Leonard trade, they're trying to get as many like young assets as possible. So I do think if Dallas is willing to offer them like multiple unprotected first round picks, that might be enough to where
Also,
you say
the
we'd rather
Clippers
have
have been
that than-
star chasing
I
for
don't see
so
them
long.
throwing a whole bunch of
The Clippers
unprotected
have been
picks.
star chasing for so long. It looks like they're taking a new method and a new approach to things.
Yeah,
Brandon Ingram's not a star, though. Look.
I
Also,
understand
they
that,
have
but
so
I'm
much-
not looking at Brandon Ingram and saying, "Wow, that's somebody I
But look,
really
you
want
also-
on my
you also have
on
the
my
fact-
really really young team."
But
At
look,
least I can look at Klay Thompson and be like, you know what? That's a guy that can, somewhat
28 is
lead
still
my guy.
prime years, though. That's prime NBA years.
You're looking
Your
at
prime
Klay Thompson saying that's a guy that can what?
Lead my team as a leader, not be like
NBA prime
leader,
is like
Klay Thompson
25 to 32. He's still in his prime. Brandon just had
Klay Thompson
off
leader
playoffs.
conversations.
This is my thing. Why would the Clippers trade them to a rival Western Conference team? They give Kawhi to the Mavs, they're automatically better. Why would the Clippers do that? He's going to the East.
Can I add into my point too, real quick?
Yeah.
I just want to say this. First of all, we were forgetting the biggest X factor. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, I'm not going to sign an extension here. Don't trade for me. Literally.
Sure.
If
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard has
with
no
the
intention of
Raptors.
signing an extension, he's made it clear. He'll sign an extension with the Raptors. He'll sign an extension with the Spurs. If you're not on that extension list, you're basically giving away assets for a dude who's going to hit unrestricted free agency and leave you. He already did it with the Raptors. He told them. He said, hey, guys, I'm not re-signing here for this season.
now
I'm
he's
just going to go.
re-signing.
Right after this, he didn't re-sign.
Fresh
Trade
off a
was
chip, by the way, guys. Fresh
Fresh
off
off
a
a
chip.
chip.
It is really funny that now
He's a man of his
after
word.
that happened, they're trying to get him back, and now he's like, "Oh, I'll resign with them now." After
You know what?
we're a young,
Chill now.
unproven team that hasn't.
Yeah,
made
I'll
it
resign them with them now. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
And
I'll
you know
send
what's
them
funny?
now.
If they
After
went
the
and-
no.
If they went and I know this is way off rails, but imagine they went back to the possibility again. Bro, the statues that we built around Kawhi Leonard, he'll be in every restaurant menu. There'll be a statue in every hotel room. Like literally, it'll be Kawhi.
So he's going to get the
Kawhi
Jalen
Kawhi
Brunson
Hotel,
treatment
bro.
in New York, but in
I'll build
Toronto.
it.
He's going to
Yeah,
get
it's
he'd
gonna
get
be
a whole-
times 10
he'd get
because
a
it's a country.
country. Yeah, he'd get the whole country.
All
of Canada.
Oh,
They would literally give him
Kawhi
citizenship.
Nada.
They
Literally.
would grant.
He wouldn't,
They
bro.
would grant
I'm
Kawhi
talking free
full
house.
citizenship.
Y'all didn't hear what they were saying. They were offering him the first time. They said, "Hey, we'll pay for you. We'll give you house, food, all this stuff." Like they were adding all types of stuff. What do you think
Yeah.
is what happened? Then? He'll never have to pay for anything. in life.
Kawanto?
Kawanto, literally.
Toronto.
I do think it's different than the last time. Like last time,
sure, I
Toronto had been they had been a number one seed in the East. I forget multiple years or just 1 year, but they had been a top seed in the East many times. They'd been in the conference finals. They kept getting blocked by LeBron. LeBron had just moved out of the conference, and they
Right.
were like, okay, we're one superstar away. We can make a finals push. And they were right. But they had the infrastructure built already. This young Raptors team, as good as
Might be
Scotty
good,
Barnes
yeah.
is and Quickly and Barrett, I don't think they have the infrastructure to just take on Kawhi and instantly become a championship.
Quickly,
contender again.
too. If he didn't even play last playoffs, Quickly's important.
Well,
And listen,
Not a lot.
I do want to give Toronto some credit on here. They have a number of young guys who are incredibly slept on. And you mentioned a couple, Jay. Like, there's a reason why Jamal Shed and Jacoby Walter were closing games.
Yes.
They are both very, very good young players. I don't know that they're ever going to be all-stars in the NBA, but they are
Rotation
quality
guys, for
NBA
sure.
players.
They're
that
gonna
can
be
contribute
solid
to
role
winning in a
players,
big
for
way.
sure.
And I was very impressed by those guys. I think a lot of the season, but especially in the playoffs, the way that they stepped up to the moment. Those guys are going to be good for a long time. So I do really like having those guys as like underrated young bench pieces still on rookie deals. I like that, and I want to give them their credit there. With that said, I don't know that a 4-year-old Kawhi coming to this team is the same as 27-year-old Kawhi coming to this team 7 years ago and winning a title. So I don't know. And then it's like, does he fit next to Scotty Barnes? Is Scotty Barnes more of a three? Is Kawhi going to play? Like, it's fun in theory, but again, I feel like the novelty might be getting in the way of the reality of the situation for the Raptors. I don't know if I would rush and make that trade.
novelty might be getting in the way of reality. That's a bar. I like that.
Max, that was fire.
That was cold. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a lot. I don't really retain a lot of like one-off conversation in bars. That was a good one.
That's that journalist. That's that journalism major right there, man. That guy's tough. But before we end the pod, one more thing that caught my eye in this offseason. John Morant is apparently on the move. John Morant's he's on the move. So
We've been knowing that though, but who's going to take him?
that's no. I didn't think John Morant's getting traded, but they're saying he's getting traded.
Available now. Flagrantly available.
What's John
Flagrantly
Morant's
available, but no
what's
one's
John's
calling.
value, bro? Like, I don't know how to value John Morant anymore. I still think he's good, but
The way they're talking about him makes it feel like that he's going for worse than -5 picks. I don't think you can really get worse than that.
Yeah, it's really hard.
so
Well,
I might be obligated. I might get 3 first-round picks bringing on Ja. I might have to take that experiment off. and then trade him again for free. Oh, you can't have him contract out.
I think Ja's value in the league right now, he needs to go to a team that is bad and is going to be bad, but has money to throw. And with the new system where you don't want to be a bottom 4 team because that makes your lottery odds worse, I think he needs to go to one of those bottom 4 teams and make them a bottom 6 or 7 team. I think that's his value. And a very similar thing to what the Nets just did with Julius Randle, where they're like, we have the money. We don't want to lose a bunch of games. We don't even own our picks. Let's just go get Julius Randle.
So
He'll help us win.
I don't feel like the only reason why Ja's being overlooked is because like he's like the injury history. It's because like I feel like his attitude kind of seeps out of him sometimes. I don't know how it is right now.
Attitudes who have got good contracts right now.
I mean, listen, I agree with you, but why are teams so dissuaded away from Ja Morant? Is it just strictly because of the injury history, or is it because like he's
injury, contract, history? All three contribute together. It's hard to package them all up.
He's also got a very unique play style, like as a point guard who's primarily a slasher, but because of all the injuries, his athleticism has declined in recent years. He's still quite athletic. Like, don't get me wrong, but he's not like the peak Ja Morant that we saw. He's not developed a 3-point shot in the NBA, really. So again, as you age, it becomes harder to consistently be a great slasher. So you need to develop more of an overall game. He's not a great playmaker. He's never been a good defender, like Earl said.
Ja's not a great playmaker, Max?
Yeah, I gotta disagree with
Ja's
that.
not a great playmaker? I think Ja's a pretty good playmaker.
Slow down.
He's a good. You're right. I shouldn't understand too much. He is a good playmaker. He's not a great playmaker. He's not great.
You're right.
He's a good playmaker. Though. Fair enough.
I think the only team that can realistically like have a good shot of carving something out of Ja Morant is going to be the Miami Heat. Personally, I think that's the only team.
I don't think he fits.
Unless they sign and trade Norman Powell.
Has a spacing problem, signs a non-spacer.
Unfortunately, guys, Ja Morant will not be on a winning team next year. Either he stays on the Grizzlies or he's going to the Kings, the Nets, the Pelicans. He just won't be in a winning situation. Like
I forget who said this.
Go to Sacramento.
It was me.
Thoughts on Phoenix for him?
You have been banished to Sacramento.
For who? Jalen Green?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if they. I mean, Jalen Green's also kind of like a.
Don't they still employ Bradley Beal over there too?
But like, sure, yeah, Jalen Green. I don't know, like Phoenix somehow.
Is it time, guys? Is it time to say it?
Sure.
The 2019 draft class was the most overrated draft class of all time.
All right,
let's take a look.
RJ Barrett, best player in that draft class.
Go look at that draft class. Darius Garland's draft class too.
Well, Darius Garland's probably the best player of that.
Okay,
class,
so
right? Like right now, probably Darius Garland.
Wow, the first 5 alone, all pretty mid. Ja, Zion, RJ, DeAndre Hunter, Garland, Jarrett Culver out the league, Kobe White solid, Jackson Hayes, Rui, Cam Johnson mid, Cam Reddish done, Cam Johnson's mid, PJ, Tyler Hero, okay.
And Rui's the best player in this draft class.
Nikhil.
Nikhil Alexander. Okay, all right, Nikhil's in there.
Jordan Poole, Keldon Johnson, Kevin Porter Jr. Wow.
So basically, if you had a lottery pick in this draft, it didn't work out well.
Daniel Gafford.
Okay.
Bobo. THT. This draft sucks. Wow.
Taylor Horton Tucker.
Don't.
Is the only all-star... only guys who actively
there was a ranking that came out where he was ranked higher than SG at a time. The only
guys who make all-star games right now are Garland and Hero.
Is Tyler Hero the best player of this draft?
Yeah, he might really be, bro.
Is it really him or Garland?
It's not saying
I don't
much.
think Garland's even
Lakers
top 3.
legend Taylor Horton Tucker. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think this is.
I would go Tyler Hero 1, Ja 2, RJ 3, Zion 4.
Well, okay, Zion if he's healthy is 1. Zion healthy is 1, but he's just
Kobe White 5.
Never healthy.
Nikhil's from this draft.
We're sleeping on. You can't sleep on Garland that bad. Like Garland is quality. He made an All-Star game literally 2 years ago. Like not this past season, but the year before. He was an NBA All-Star.
I still think 2022 is the best draft in a long time. Like that draft was amazing. Great draft.
I mean,
I think we can wrap it up here.
2018 draft is one of those drafts. 2018 draft is going to go down as top 5 draft ever, maybe.
You said
That draft had
2018?
Shea, that draft had Luka, that draft had Trae Young, that draft had Jalen Brunson.
You know what's funny?
That draft is definitely top.
I promise you, I'm not trolling. I told my dad. I swear, I kid you not. On draft night,
get the LeBron.
I won't have my dad record video and say this was real. I told him. I said, "Amen." I was like, when they were doing the Hawks pick, the Hawks were like Luka Doncic, and then they ended up trading him. I said, "Man, Luka Doncic, you don't understand how good Luka is, bro. Y'all might have messed up here." Promise you, I said that. And my dad will not lie for me like that. I'll get a video sent out in the group chat soon. But yes, I literally called Luka. Everybody, Luka, this is great. Trae Young, he's the best. By the way, Trae Young was absolutely incredible, one of the best point guards we've seen in college. So it wasn't a bad pick. But just saying, a lot of people were questioning Luka. I never did. Now he's a Laker.
What's that LeBron quote where it's like, I saw 3 rims, I just shot for the middle one.
You know, I'm reading this new book, man. You know,
I'm on page 1, but I'm reading.
I'm on page 1. What's the book about? A BTB show. You know how we rock.
This is a great pod. We covered a lot, guys. We covered the Warriors off-season news. We covered the new trades, the Lamelo Ball trade, the Miles Bridges trade, off-season what Jaylen Brown, what that's looking like, Nuggets, Kawhi. We covered everything that's going on in the NBA right now. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We got everybody on the pod for this one. We got Earl, we got Max, we got O, we got Jay. Thank you for listening to another episode of the BTB Show. Everyone, have a good week. Peace.
Ron, we're good. We got Ben Simmons now.